Hi everyone, it's Miss Delarocco again. Today I would like to discuss podcasting in our classroom as it relates to literacy. I know on my website I did list a kind of brief introduction video, and in that video I discussed how we may be using technology in our classroom to increase or enrich our learning experiences. That video is still posted on my website, so you can find it there if you'd like to catch up. But today, we're going to discuss podcasting specifically. So I know that you might think this is crazy, your second graders, your 7-year-olds using recording technology in the classroom. But I promise, it's not too crazy. The purpose of this screencast is to demonstrate how podcasting is going to be used in our classroom and why that's a good thing. I want to highlight the image in the right corner of the screen. I chose this image to represent podcasting because, yes, there is an individual speaking into a microphone, and yes, that is important, but personally, when I look at that image, I think that it implies that that individual has an audience. And that's something I want you to remember for further into this presentation. So let's get started. So some of you may be wondering, why podcasting? And that's a great question. I've said this before and I'll say it again and again. We live in a society that depends on technology. Maybe a little too much, but that's just the reality of our situation. And I want you to know that teachers push for the use of technology because technology is always changing, and it's important to keep up with these changes. One of the goals of the Common Core State Standards is to prepare your children to be college and career ready. And in my opinion, I do believe that being able to demonstrate the use of technology is an important skill to possess, especially in college, and in many different careers. Here I am, a teacher. I didn't know that I would be using screencasting and podcasting. I had to learn to do all of those things too. So I think that it's definitely something your students and your children will be grateful for in the long run. So, the Common Core state standards do push for students to be able to demonstrate their acquired skills and knowledge through the use of technology. Now, it might be through the use of a PowerPoint presentation, through podcasting, or maybe using the web or internet to create a research-based report. Using podcasting is a way for students to apply what they have learned in a fun and meaningful way. I think that being able to record your thoughts, your feelings, helps students kind of develop a voice, their own voice and their own opinion, which is definitely going to help them out as they get older and as they do more presentations and group work and things like that. Again, I do want to point out the image that I chose to represent this slide, this picture of headphones around the globe. I did this because I wanted to show you that podcasting serves a purpose. Your children are going to be developing their own thoughts and opinions and sharing it with other people. And this is important because the class will start to come together as a community of learners. They will learn how to give positive feedback, and maybe we'll work on being able to offer suggestions in a polite way, and also how to receive feedback and implement it into future situations. For this slide, I'd like to lay out how we're going to use podcasting this year. I would like to use this technology and make it revolve around literacy. At the beginning of the year, I sorted the class into different reading groups. Now, they'll be reading different stories, short stories, chapter books throughout the year. And after they finish a book in their reading groups, the students will summarize the books by stating the setting, the plot, characters, sequence of events. If the group is reading a longer book, the students will record predictions and things like that. All of this will be done using podcasts. It's a way for them to record their thoughts and feelings while applying what they're learning about different reading strategies and things like that. The app or the website that we'll be using to create these podcasts is called Audio Boom. I chose this tool because it's the easiest podcasting tool that I know of. It's simple, it's free. You can pay for a fancier version, I guess you could say, but the free version will do just fine. The students will also record book reviews and rate the books that they read, which I think is pretty cool. Later on in the year, they will pick a book, read it, and then create a voiced over advertisement or trailer in order to convince someone to read the book. After each student records their advertisement or trailer, the other students will listen, and once everyone has created one and we have all listened to each other's podcasts, the students will have an opportunity to vote for the book that sounded the most interesting. This project is what we call March Madness. It is super fun, and I hope that the students enjoy it because I know that I enjoy watching them participate in it. The biggest benefit of using podcasting is to allow students to work together and establish a community of learners. Remember the image at the beginning of the presentation? I said it implied that the individual was speaking to an audience, and your child will have an audience too. I want them to learn how to be comfortable and confident stating their thoughts and their opinions in a respectable way, of course. But I think that working with podcasting and allowing your children to share their work with their friends will ultimately establish a community of learners. So that is something we will work on a lot this year. And here are my references for all the images I used. I hope you enjoyed my screencast, and I thank you for stopping by.